Hey everybody, this is Go-Kart Spartan. I'm just making another rambling video. This one's going to be centered around my experience watching Game of Thrones. Now, when I first got into Game of Thrones, I needed something to watch after True Blood ended. Because True Blood gave, like I said, I think I just like things that have bad endings, because True Blood ended horribly. And my girl Suki, she didn't even get to see the man she was with. Bill killed himself. Freaking, at least my boy Eric and Pam got to live. At least Eric Pam got to live. Jason had to got a kid. So alright, the ending, it could have been better, but it is what it is. But back to, I needed something to recover after True Blood. And Game of Thrones was already going on the second season. So I decided, hey, let me see what this medieval looking show has to do. Let me see what it got. Let's see what's up with it. I decided to watch the Game of Thrones. And when it first happened, it picked off slow for me. Like, it didn't get my attention fully the first 5 seconds, and because it was just some dudes walking away from some zombies, you could barely even see what was happening. So I was like, okay, so there's some dark shit going on. So like, I was 20% invested, and then they had to cut that dude's head off, and I was like, oh snap. And then we had Super Dad of the Year, Ned Stark, the only father in Westeros that his kids don't hate him and have no problematic issues with his kids, but he's a complete cunt to everybody else that's not his children. My boy Eddard Stark, bro, and his family. And Jon Snow was looking at Bran like, hey, yo, Bran, you need to look. If you don't look, father's gonna think you're a bitch. Like, he basically told that Bran, like, hey, yo, you gotta look, because, like, you gotta make sure that you see that man get his head cut off, so you can know the cruelty of this world. This is Game of Thrones. This world was made by George R. Martin. I don't know if we're all gonna make it at the end of this, Bran. I don't know if we're all gonna make it at the end of this. I'm gonna make it. My name's Jon Snow. But I don't know if the rest of y'all gonna make it, bro. I don't know. I fear for the rest of y'all. So the show kept going on, and Ned kept on hearing about the king arriving, and the king was his man's back in the day, his old drinking buddy, his old war buddy. And he already know what the king want, because he just heard that John Aaron died. And they get a letter from the Vale saying, hey yo, you know them blonde, you know them Kardashians, them Lannisters, don't trust them. Do not trust them. Don't trust them. Catelyn looked at the handwriting, and the shit looked like her sister's hand. The shit looked like Littlefinger handwriting a little bit at the bottom of the paper. She's like, but she didn't even acknowledge that shit. She's crumbled the paper up and just like, Ned, we can't trust the Lannisters. And Ned already don't fuck with the Lannisters. Ned was just on some, nah, since Aerys he didn't fuck with them, because after the war, Ned came in and he just saw the king just slaughtered on the floor, and Jaime Lannister just sitting there smoking the blunt on the Iron Throne like, yo, what's good, Eddard? How you doing? What's up? I just did all of your hard work for you. And Eddard Stark couldn't even think of a racial slur to call Jaime, so he just said, you Kingslayer. And that when he said that, it just rang a bell. Everybody was like, "Oh, I think we should just call that nigga that from now on." Yeah, he did just slay the king, Kingslayer. Yo, that shit's kind of fire. And then at first, Jaime was like, "Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, Kingslayer does have a nice ring to it, doesn't it?" But after like the third year hearing that shit, Jaime got tired. He was like, I hate it here, bro. Why the fuck do they have to keep calling me Kingslayer? I know I killed him. You have to remind me every time you call him, bro. People don't even remember my name. They just call me Kingslayer. They're like, Sir Kingslayer. I'm like, my name is Jaime. It was just crazy because, like, so those two already didn't like each other, and him and the family, the whole family was about to show up. So now Robert showed up. Now at this point, my attention is at 35% because I'm invested. It seems like this family's of people showing up that don't like each other, and I'm watching it. So Robert, he pats all the children on the back. Cersei comes out. Oh my goodness, I love Lena Headey. Cersei Lannister. I love Cersei Lannister. That's one of my favorite female characters, bro. You wanna know why I like Cersei Lannister? Because of the sheer level of Black Air Force energy she has. She reminds me of a black woman. She really do. She reminds me of an angry black woman that don't take shit from nobody. I love me some Cersei Lannister. But Cersei Lannister came, and she looked at Ned, she gave him a stank ass look, like, because, like, you know, like, Ned was over here calling him Kingslayer. She don't like that nigga either. The feelings is mutual over here. Smoke is mutual in Game of Thrones. I don't know about House of Dragons, where Alicent and Rhaenyra be having sleepovers in the middle of the war, talking about we're best friends. We should have been together a long time ago. Y'all should have just Honestly, they should have just went that close together a long time ago and ate that cake. But back to Game of Thrones, man. In Game of Thrones, the women have attitude problems. When they don't like each other, they don't like each other. They want death, and thousands of people will die for their wrath. And this is just the beginning of it. But this is just the beginning. So Robert pulls Ned to the side. They go to the crypts. And Robert paces next to his beloved Lyanna, the only woman that he loved in life, the only thing that he cared about. That's why he's so close to Ned, bro. Because he looked at Lyanna. Lyanna had the fatty back then, bro. He could see it under her loincloth. He's like, yo, Ned, who that? That's my sister. That's your sister? God damn, Ned, look at the wagon on her. Robert, why would you say that? I'm just being honest, Ned. I didn't mean to offend you, boy, but your sister is cracking quite the rubbish back there. And bro, and like, you know, she died and shit. And then the scene pans off to my boy Tyrion Lannister. For the record, I like Tyrion Lannister from seasons 1 through 4. After season 4, once he grows that stupid ass beard, he becomes a shit character. But he's not yet. In season 1 through 4, he's still in his prime. So what was Tyrion doing when we first saw him? Getting domed from a beautiful woman named Ross. And what happens? Jamie shows up, and Jamie brings more women in there. Now my interest is at 100% because I just saw a little person getting domed, and then his big brother, came in and brought more shorties for him, bro. I'm sorry, I'm a man. I like shit like that. So when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I like these guys. So now I'm peaked. So the entire episode basically just goes like they setting up a feast, and Robert's over here talking to every shorty at the feast. You just see Cersei sitting there with the rested bitch face, just being disrespected in public, just having this man just nah, bro. And it got to a point her and Catelyn had a conversation and shit like that. And Jon Snow wanted to go to the Night's Watch, and Tyrion called that nigga a bastard, and then told that nigga to wear it like armor. And that's some of the most impactful words Tyrion says. Honestly, on some real shit, bro, I live by those words. Never forget what you are. Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you. Some of the most impactful words the little lion has ever said, bro. And he said that shit to Jon Snow, bro. He said that shit to Jon because he knew. Tyrion knew. It's like they could just smell the plot armor on Jon. They could just smell the lack of death on him. They know he's gonna survive. So every time they get see Jon, they just want to shower him with good ass advice. So the scene pans over to Essos. So we in what's this thing's name? Illyrio Mopatis. We were the Miriam Mopatis and Illyrio Mopatis and Viserys, and who I thought was, because I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, and like I thought that was nominated. I didn't know like she's in my mind she's Daenerys. I can't. They're two separate beings now. But when I first started this, the season 1 of Game of Thrones, I was calling her Nominate the entire time. Because it reminded me of Nominate, because Nominate was a captive in an abusive situation. She couldn't go nowhere, and like, you know, it was kind of the same thing in my eyes. But the difference between Daenerys and Nominate is Daenerys took on, like, Nominate had other people help her, like Axel. But Daenerys, she took ownership of, she took control of her whole situation. Like, at first, I hate this. I love King Viserys, the third in the House of Dragons. That's my GOAT right there. But Viserys in Game of Thrones is a sniveling rat. I can't stand him. Like I said, I like villains. I do like him to some capacity, because whenever I look at the histories and lores, nobody could tell Game of Thrones history better than the dude that plays Viserys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, bro. He's built for this shit, bro. I could listen to that nigga talk about history all day. I could listen to all of Westeros, all of them talk about history every single day. Every single one of them. I can listen to all of them talk about history all day of Game of Thrones. But the point I'm trying to make is he was a bastard. He looked at Nominate and said, listen here, I know they done abused you in Castle Oblivion. I heard about what the nobodies did to you, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to sell. I want my army back. I want my crown back. We want to go home with an army, don't we? We want to crash out on all the people in the Seven Kingdoms, don't we? I will let all of these niggas Tokiyuja you. Every single one of them. Straight engine Shinta Goat Anja. Your goodies. And I don't care. I will watch them all do it. And I will get my throne. I was so glad when they put the golden melted head on this nigga's head, bro. He needed to die. Because, bro, like, You can't just be that outwardly abusive, bro. And the entire time he was there, nobody respected him. But Dothraki didn't respect him. It was over here beating him and saying shit in Dothraki that he couldn't understand. Like you ever go into a store and people don't understand language. You know niggas is talking shit, but your man's just there. You got a translator. Cause that happened to me one time. Because it's like, but like they talking about you and you don't know what they saying because you don't understand the language. Well, if you had someone there, they could be like, oh no, that nigga just called you a bitch ass nigga in his native tongue. The series had to deal with that. He had nobody to tell him that he was that was they were saying. They could just outwardly disrespect him in their own language. And Daenerys took ownership of a situation because Daenerys was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get sold and used. And then she looked at Khal Drogo and she was like, maybe I could get used to this. Maybe I could maneuver this in a certain way. Maybe I could make that nigga like me. And she looked at one of her hand servants like, yo, I need you to teach me how to do things in bed because I don't want to. I know I'm a slave, but I don't want to live like one. And then Shorty taught her how to ride. And then she pulled on Khal Drogo. She got on top of there and looked at him and said, his eyes, my son and stars. I will take you tonight. And Khal Drogo was like, oh shit. I like this. And those two got closer. They got closer and closer. They was inseparable. Khal Drogo was saying stupid shit out of his mouth like, moon of my life. Like, you know my goodness, bro. And then they got to a point where they tried to kill him because like they heard that, you know, she's pregnant and shit like that. And then like Khal Drogo dies and she gets 3 dragons. I'm just gonna skip past that story because I want to get back to the interesting people. I love Daenerys Targaryen, but I love everything that goes on in Kingsland way more. So now Catelyn Stark done told Brandon one simple thing. Listen here, little nigga. These good white people are coming in front of us. And I don't want you embarrassing me in front of them. I don't want you embarrassing me in front of all of them. I already have problems with Arya. I already can't tell her what to do. So I already have to take that lick that Arya's going to embarrass me. I know Sansa knows better. But you, Bran, no climbing. If I see you climbing, I will get the leather Winterfell belt and I will smack you in front of all of the Northerners. In front of the face. It will be a lash, it will be abusive. And you will take it because you did wrong and you didn't listen to your mother. And Bran just was like, fuck that shit, I'm going climbing, bro. That nigga Bran climbing, he was, bro, I don't know what soundtrack Bran had in, bro. Bran must have been listening to Kendrick the entire time. He was just like, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Freaky ass nigga, he a 69 god. Freaky ass nigga. And the minute he got to the freaky ass nigga part, he saw Cersei and Jaime being 69 gods. Saw them doing the nasty, the unspoken, the Alabama. And Bran didn't know what to do. Bran was like, oh, aren't they related? Oh shit. I ain't gonna tell nobody though. Like, I don't want them niggas to kill me. Those white people look crazy over there. And Jaime and Cersei looked at him with the ferociousness of a lion. He saw us. Jaime, do something. He saw us. And Jaime just walked over to the boy and his side. Because Jaime knew the task. He knew the troublesome task that was ahead of him. He knew. He didn't want to do it to this kid. But you caught me. Bro, if niggas knew what we was doing, if niggas knew the full scope of the shit that we was doing, bro, me and my entire family would die. You have to suffer. You should have listened to your moms. I heard her tell you no climbing. That's why we came up here in the first place to start fucking. Because we heard her say no climbing. We was like, oh shit, yeah, she told him what to do, so that little nigga shouldn't be climbing. Alright, so let's go to the tower. Cersei, let me blow your pack out real quick. And bro, and then this little nigga comes and climb. Like, bro, didn't you listen? Bro, you should listen to your mother. This is Sparta! The things I do for love. Kicked him. And Bran came plummeted into the ground. And the next morning, Jaime and Cersei had shifty eyes. And Tyrion already knew they was up to something. Tyrion knows his brother and sister so fucking well. And they went and kissed her on the cheek. Cersei hates this nigga. Cersei like, get them disgusting, repugnant lips off of me, you fucking cur. Kill my mother. I hate you. But Jaime gave that nigga a dab and shit. He gave him a dab. They done sat down. Tyrion was being friendly with them. He was over here saying, makes them say the boy may live. And the second Tyrion said that shit, Jaime and Cersei both, it's like these niggas were a hive mind. They both looked at each other and were like, oh no, we need to kill this nigga, bro. We need to kill this nigga, bro. I don't know what needs to happen. I don't give a fuck. Nobody said Jaime and them sent that dagger, bro. Littlefinger took the fall for that shit. It makes no sense for Littlefinger to send the dagger. It makes no sense for Joffrey to send the dagger. The only person that it makes sense to send the dagger is Jaime and Cersei. Because at that moment, when they realized that Bran was still alive, they both had the shook look on their face, and it was mad over there. And then an assassin comes, you're not supposed to be here. No one's supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. Nah, bro, it was crazy, bro. And then Catelyn had to deal with that. It was hilarious. The whole dagger shit was just crazy. I honestly think I think Jaime Lannister won that. He gave that to the assassin. And then Littlefinger's being Littlefinger's Diddy, bro. Straight up. Littlefinger's just the P. Diddy of Westeros. He has freak out houses and stuff, bro. Yeah, bro. And nah, so Ned Stark. So now they in the forest. They in the forest, then. Arya's having fun with her friend. He's having fun with her friend Micah. They over here playing sword fight. He want to be a knight one day. Arya want to be a knight one day. They both want to be warriors. And Sansa over here being a hoe, talking to Joffrey, over here being stank. And both of them stank ass niggas go over to Arya, and they look at them and be like, "Hey!" And Joffrey being a stank nigga, he is like challenge you to a fight. And the butcher's boy, this nigga poor, he broke, bro. That nigga from Fleet Bottom, bro. Well, not from Fleet Bottom, but he from whatever broke place there is in Winterfell. And bro, like, he's never practiced with a real sword before, and Joffrey brings a real sword and starts swinging at this man. Arya's like, "Nah, yo, leave my nigga alone." Arya pressed that nigga, and then Joffrey starts swinging it at her. And Arya best this nigga. Then Nymeria come and not eat him. She bites his arm and shit. And then the Lannisters hear about this, and this is when I knew. This episode is when I knew that I was dealing with a family of Crash House, bro. When Cersei said something has to die, this meeting is not going to end without blood being shed. One of them wolves are gonna pay. If we can't find the other one, kill Sansa's. Sansa needed Lady so much to get her through these treacherous waters. Sansa had to deal with so much shit because she didn't have a direwolf with her. She had to deal with Joffrey. She had to deal with Cersei. She had to deal with Diddy. Like, she had to deal with so much shit because of just because the direwolf was all the other Starks. I mean, they all had to deal with shit too, but I felt like the direwolves protected them for the most part. At least they tried their fucking best. Sansa didn't have that shit, so she had to deal with Littlefinger, Peter, Diddy, Baelish, and fucking Joffrey and the Hound and all these other fucking people that care about her on a placebo level. And and they all had to, and then like they went to Winterfell and they meet the Small Council. And this is how Ned reacts to every single one of these niggas. He sees Renly, and Ned's like, "Oh nigga, Renly, what's good? What's good, Lord Stark? It's been a long time. How's it up? How's it going up there, North? It's all cold up here. We don't have these summer snows. We don't have these summer storms." Some shit like that. And then, like, he sees Varys. And Varys like, "Lord Stark, it is a pleasure to greet you." And then, Ned Stark just gives him a stank look. He don't like Varys too much. Like, Varys wears too much perfume for Ned Stark's liking. And he heard, and Ned Stark just like feels a funny way about eunuchs because of Westeros is like super racist, but they're racist in a different way. They don't care about your skin color. They just care about your class and shit like that. And this nigga's a eunuch. He's from Essos and he smells foreign. So Ned Stark's looking at this nigga like, "What up, nigga? What's up?" Like, he just gives him a nod, and he sees Littlefinger, and he's like, "Ha ha ha! If it isn't the little nigga that my big brother done beat up, ha ha ha! If it isn't the older man with a dead older brother." Like, that's how I interpreted their interaction with, essentially. He's like, "Yo, did my brother beat your ass?" "Yeah, that nigga beat my ass, but then he ended up dying because of the fool." If you ask me, Littlefinger set that nigga death up. I think Littlefinger started Robert's Rebellion, bro. Because he was in Riverrun with Rhaegar and Lyanna were in Riverrun getting married and shit. He could have honestly just saw them, and then he could have just said, he could have just spoke to the right or wrong persons about this shit, and it could have just got to the right ears, and then, like, chaos could have just happened, and then that could have just been slow to the ascension. My reason for thinking that is because he specifically says to Ross and them, "I did not fight, I don't want to fight them, I want to fuck them. That's what I am, that's what I know." He explains that after he lost that duel, he learned that I need to fuck them. I need to put myself inside all of these people and make them remember the name Peter Diddy Baelish, because y'all got me fucked up, bro. I will smack everybody in the Seven Kingdoms with baby oil for having me fucked up. That's the type of energy Littlefinger had, bro. Like, he lost the fight, bro, because, you know, nigga watched too much anime. Nigga thought he was Tanjiro, bro. And Brandon Stark does push-ups and sit-ups every day. That nigga has a Planet Fitness membership, and he be at the gym fucking 8 hours a day, bro. You're not beating him. You're not beating him. Bro, nah, this nigga Brandon Stark could probably run a whole ass marathon, bro. They called him the Wild Wolf. That nigga has black Air Force, and you don't get named the Wild Wolf without having black Air Force energy, bro. But Littlefinger just decided I'm never fighting again, bro. I'm never fighting unless some big titty goddess just somehow blesses me with superpowers and I can just be the best fucking person I could ever be. But that's never gonna happen. Only in Gokai's Spartan's universe. But here, I gotta not deal with that shit. I gotta be a bitch ass nigga. And I have to suffer. But I will make them all suffer while I suffer. And I will suffer less each day. Because each day I will profit and I will benefit and I will watch them all burn and I will watch them all die. Because they got me fucked up. All I wanted was Catelyn, bro. All I wanted was Catelyn, bro. And Shorty liked me, bro. Shorty was feeling me. Bro, I swear I hit that, bro. I know I was twisted that night, bro. I had the Henny, bro. And I could have sworn I fucked both those bitches that night, bro. He really only smashed Lysa. In his mind, he thinks he fucked both of them. But it was really Lysa. But no, bro. It got to a point where, damn, I went on a little finger for a while. I love this nigga. But anyway, all right, we get the Grand Maester Parcell. Look, on Stark. How you doing? And then fucking fucking Eddard Stark is just like, yeah, what's up? You served another king. So basically, the tournament ends up. They end up discussing the matters, and then the tournament ends up happening because like they couldn't get like them to not make the money because they couldn't get Robert to stop the tournament because Robert wants his tournament, bro. Robert wants his marathon, bro. We ain't got Netflix yet, bro. Flawless Military did not get here. We do not have technology. We have to do tourneys. So everybody get outside and start looking fancy and start jousting. I have a whole bottle of Henny and a pissed off wife. Please, everybody, I'm bored. Starving over here. I feel like getting in the battlefield myself. Somebody put my armor on. You're too fat to fit in that armor. Yo, Ned, watch your motherfucking mouth. I'm the king. Yeah, I'm your best friend. Yeah, you're the only nigga out there talk to me like that, bro. If that was anybody else, I would have had their head, bro. Actually, no, I would probably just laugh that shit off. I'm not like that, bro. If I was my younger brother, Stannis, go. He would have got burned alive. He was straight out. I don't know what's going with my younger brothers, bro. I don't like none of them niggas, bro. Ned, you my brother. You know that. I love you, Ned. I love you too, Limits. Ned Stark reluctantly, I know Ned Stark loved Robert, that was his nigga and shit, but I can tell that Ned Stark reluctantly had to deal with this nigga Robert, bro. I can tell that Ned Stark said this nigga like at least 15 times in his head. Every time Robert opened his mouth and did anything, bro, like because like you can't do nothing. That's the king. You can't really judge. I mean, you can judge him, but you can't really. There's not much you can really do. If that nigga says, "Yo, we drinking tonight," they gotta be like, I'm not trying to get twisted tonight. I got to go back to old Winterfell. I got to make sure that my man, nigga, we drinking tonight. I'm the king. I command it. Yeah, I guess we drinking tonight. On some real shit, there was the nothing that Ned Stark could do, bro. Like Robert was, but the point I'm trying to make is that they talked him out of it, and like eventually they get news from Essos that Daenerys is pregnant, and this is when Daenerys is pregnant and Tyrion gets kidnapped. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Actually, I should get to the Tyrion shit first. All right, we'll start here. So Tyrion didn't want to go back to King's Landing because he don't like his sister. And like, you know, he wants to get out. He don't get to get out much because his father's really strict. His father be telling him what to do all the time, so he don't really get to get out much. So this is his first opportunity to really get out and see the world. So he went to the wall. He wanted to go see the wall. He probably never seen the wall his entire life. He wanted to go over there and piss off the edge of it on some South Park shit. So he did that, and he met people at the wall, and shit was good over there. But then, bro, when he went back to Winterfell, the reception was colder than he remembered, bro. Like they like when he first went there, they acted like they didn't like him, but now they super acting like they didn't like him. Like Robb Stark gave that nigga, he didn't even call him by his first name. He's like, "You're kind." He was just like Lannister. He called that nigga by his last name. And Tyrion like, "Oh, so I'm Lannister now, huh?" After I just built this contraption for your crippled son, for your crippled brother to ride horses, I'm just Lannister now. I copy. That's all good, Robb Stark. It's all good. I understand our families don't like each other. It's all good. I'm not petty like that, bro. I'm not, bro. If it was my sister, bro. If it was my sister, this entire place would be in flames. But me, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. Here. Red might gonna need that. You wanna ride ponies? Get on this. Bro, Tyrion went to the inn, bro, and Catelyn prudish to Muir Stark. Catelyn looked and she like, and the thing is, Catelyn was trying to be on the low. Catelyn wasn't trying to be noticed. She had the hoodie on and shit. She was trying to look like Organization 13. She was just, I hope nobody sees me. And then Tyrion like, yo, Stark, I see you. What's up? And then Catelyn's just like, this nigga. And Catelyn didn't even acknowledge Tyrion. She was like, yeah, y'all from House Blackwood, right? Yeah. Y'all River Abandonment. Yeah, that's what's up. And y'all from House Manderley, right? Yeah. Y'all fuck with my family too. Mm-hmm. And y'all from the Twins. How's Lord Walder doing these days? And then Catelyn looked at Tyrion and said, this man has invaded my home and tried to kill my son. Have him arrested immediately. And I was just like, oh my God, Catelyn, wow. You gonna listen to Littlefinger? You're gonna listen to the nigga that wants to get in your drawers, bro? That nigga playing the long game, bro. And you're his centerpiece. You're his queen. He's maneuvering across the board. There's several queens on the board. You're one of them. You're just being moved. You don't even know you're being moved. You're just being moved. And while you're doing this, Littlefinger is in his freak off house, sipping a martini surrounded by the sounds of pleasure, laughing his ass off evilly because his shit's going according to plan. Because it doesn't matter. No, bro, I'm not. He knows he's not dying until season 7, and even if he dies, he has security and go Spartan. He's not going nowhere. He knows nothing's gonna happen to the nigga. He's like, yo, I don't give a fuck what happened to me, bro. Nigga, I got this, nigga. If I don't get the Iron Throne, nigga, I got this, bro. My boy Lord Baelish was like, nah, just watch it. He was watching this shit like it was a game piece on the board, bro. And then Tyrion, the first thing Tyrion needed to do was make friends. He was in an environment where niggas didn't like him. He was like, oh shit, damn, niggas don't like me. Man, that's some bullshit, bro. Damn, Lady Stark, you really gonna treat me like that? You mad prudish, man. You mad disrespectful. Oh, I think she's disrespectful too, man. That bitch is kind of a cunt. Where's she kind of a cunt? What's your name? My name, bro. What you doing here? Man, I'm just trying to get a comment right now, bro. Nigga, I'm broke. Where? I got you. What do you mean, nigga? You know what my last name is? My name is Lannister. Tyrion Lannister. My father is Tywin. My father has the biggest dick in the 7 kingdoms. Everybody's scared of him. Everybody. He's the richest man. Bro, I was like, oh shit. Bro, they put him on trial, bro. And Lysa was like, yo, so you gonna admit your crime? My boy Tyrion looked at her and said, I remember one time I was bathing in the river and I seen a peasant girl naked. I grabbed her clothing and I removed it so she couldn't find that shit. She had to walk back to the city. Titties flopping and everything, bro. Nigga, I remember one time, bro, I beat my dick into a pile of soup because my sister was gonna eat it and I don't like that bitch. I remember one time I bought a honeycomb and a jackass into a brothel. And they just cut that nigga up at that point because they knew Tyrion was just verbally, he was making fun of him. And then they were like, yo, we're gonna sentence you for what you did to Bran. Like, yo, I ain't had nothing to do with him nor Jon Aaron. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm tired of y'all niggas. I want to try by combat. Where my brother at? With Jamie. And freaking Jamie had to pull, and Jamie didn't pull up because Lysa was like, nah, shit have to happen today. And Tyrion looked at the audience like, yo, anybody want to fight for me, bro? Anybody here? Anybody? And then Braun, Paper Chaser Braun looked and he said, you know what? I'm gonna fight for this little nigga. Cause I don't think a single nigga in this room could beat me. I've been stabbing niggas since the tender age of 4 years old. Yeah, I got you, little nigga, I got you. And Braun cleaned house, and Lysa looked at him like, nigga, you don't fight with no honor? And Braun said, yeah, I know, he did. Look at him, flying and shit. That nigga flying. Damn, that nigga can't, he about to, oh, damn, that's a mess right there. I might want to clean that up. And Tyrion dipped, bro, and he had to go back, and then the Hilltron tried to jump that nigga, and Tyrion made them laugh. He was like, yo, the Shaka was like, Tyrion, son of Tywin, how do you want to die? And Tyrion was like, in my own bed at the age of 80 with a belly full of Henny, a blunt in my hand, and a girl's mouth around my cock. He made the entire Hilltron just crash out, start laughing, bro. And he told them, yo, y'all want to crash out on the Vale? I don't like these niggas evil. Just come with me and my father. And then Tyrion, he met Tywin there. And Tyrion came to company. Tywin's first impression was, y'all didn't kill him? Why is he still alive? Why all the people I don't like still alive? Ned Stark, my son Tyrion. Both of y'all should be dead. But here I am having to clean up the mess. Fuck, now I have to pretend like I love him. I mean, he's a Lannister, so, you know, there's that. But, these niggas stink. Well, except the nigga that's next to him, he don't smell that bad. The rest of these niggas stink. What the fuck is going on? I'm gonna have to give these niggas weapons, aren't I? I'm gonna have to come out of pocket just so because they brought back my son. Very well, we're Lannisters. This is what we do. And bro, Tywin, the entire time, Tywin was just freaking disappointed with his kids the entire time. His entire existence, he was just disappointed with these niggas. Nigga was never happy with them. Nigga, Tyrion could save the world, bro. And Tyrion could be like, I just saved the world from being destroyed by monsters. And Tyrion like, yeah, but you're still short and you made my wife die and now I'm lonely. Eat a dick, Tyrion. Tyrion don't give a fuck, bro. That nigga told Jaime, he was like, yo, your mother is dead. Before long, I'll be dead. And me, your sister, your brother, and all of your sister's children, they'll all be dead. You need to be the man that you need to be, Jaime. Why the fuck Ned Stark not dead? Tired of this shit, bro. Oh, just half measures. Useless half measures, bro. See, this is why I have people like Sir Gregor Clegane under my This is why I have people like Gregor Clegane under my employ. Gregor Clegane would never let me down. Gregor Clegane would not let them escape. Gregor Clegane would kill them completely. But no, my own family just letting people live. If Ned Stark was dead, we could be at war with the rest of his family and eliminate them in a fortnight. But no, now we have to deal with him alive. And what if things maneuver in such a way that House Lannister loses support and we have to be at war in the entire 7 kingdoms? If you would have killed him now, we could have cleaned this up, and we could have just made it look like an accident. But no, you had to give to your fullest pride and valor. You had to make sure that the victory was clean. I would have stabbed that nigga in his neck and watched him bleed out. But no, you guys are not built like me. They don't make them like me anymore. They don't make them like Lord Tywin. All of my kids are soft. Jamie, you over here. I'm not soft, father. Shut up. I'm not talking about you, daughter. Jamie, you're over here just letting people live. Tyrion, you're just being short and just not looking the part, and you're over here whoring. Father, you whore too. Shut up. We don't talk about that. We only talk about your problems, not mine. Tywin Lannister was... They didn't give a fuck, bro. And then after that, bro, Robert went hunting and came back with an open belly. A boar hunted him down. A boar got to me, Ned. A fucking boar. It gutted me right up. And the reason this shit happened was because Ned Stark did the dumbest shit he could do in Westeros. He started asking questions. The nigga started asking questions in King's Landing. He started asking questions where Littlefinger and the Lannisters live. He started asking questions in the place where Jon Arryn died. Bro, my boy Ned Stark, Arya and Sansa was like, Joffrey's more like a lot. I think Sansa was like, he's a beautiful golden lion with golden blonde hair. Arya was like, no, he's not a golden lion. He's a stag, just like his father. And Ned Stark was like, that nigga doesn't look nothing like Robert. Hold up, none of them niggas look like Robert. I know what Robert's kids look like. Robert be fucking all the time. I've seen them all across the 7 kingdoms. Hell, I've seen one of them in Winterfell. I don't know if that's Robert's master, but that nigga got Robert's jawline. He even sounds like Robert. Sometimes I'll be walking past him and all I hear is ha 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 ha. And I'm like, is that Robert? And no, it'd just be his son. No, I don't think this kid's is Robert. I've been around Robert's children before. Hold up. Let me go on Google real quick. My boy Ned Stark pulled out Westerosi Google, which is just a book. He started looking shit up. Axel Baratheon, red of hair. I mean black of hair. I just said that because I like Kingdom Hearts. Boris Baratheon, black of hair. Jaden Baratheon, black of hair. Kendrick Baratheon, black of hair. Sora Baratheon, black of hair. Tommy Oliver Baratheon, black of hair. Robert Baratheon, black of hair. Joffrey Baratheon, golden head. Nigga, Ned Stark's mouth turned into a circle when he read that shit, bro. In the next scene, he walked over to Cersei. My queen, my empress, he walked over to Cersei and he said, I know you be out here fucking your brother. And Cersei looked at that nigga and said, bro, I swear, this is where Cersei's mind, this is what Cersei said in her mind, initiate Order 66. Because nothing but crash out happened after that, bro. Nigga, the second Ned Stark said Cersei was out here fucking her brother, bro, nothing but smoke happened, bro. My boy Ned Stark was like, when Robert get back, if Robert get back. Because when Robert get back, he gonna look like Ace from One Piece. He gonna have a hole in his belly. He gonna look like he had a visit from Akainu. That's what Robert gonna look like when he get back. When Robert got back, he had a donut in his belly. I'm dying, Ned. Make sure that my son's not a stupid little twat like me. And you're the ruler of the realm, Ned. And bro, Ned Stark had to alter the wording just a little bit to make sure that, like, you know, because Ned Stark, he wasn't going to deal with this incest, these heathens, these blonde-headed heathens. He wasn't going to deal with that. He said, nah, these niggas is not Roberts. They're not faithful to Robert, so they must pay. And Ridley already knew what time it was. Ridley was like, yo, I got 1,000 niggas outside the door. What we need to do? And then start like, whoa, what do you mean? Yeah, we need to strike before Cersei starts crashing out, bro. That bitch is a bona fide crash out. You don't understand what you just did. Then start that's a black. You think that's a black woman? She's African. She's going to burn this place to the ground if you let her. Please, Ned Stark, listen to me. We need to find your brother's status. Please, bro. My brother Stannis, he burning people alive, bro. Not to mention, my brother Stannis ain't got no swag. My brother Stannis ain't got no drip. My brother Stannis ain't got that say swag. He's not me, bro. He's not like me, my nigga. I'm really, bro. I'm like that, bro. Everybody love me where I go. I smell good constantly. Bitches is on my dick, even though I don't like bitches. But nah, bro. I'm really Baratheon. I should be king. Ned Stark's like, no, you'd be a would-be usurper. And when we really heard some shit like that, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go fuck my boyfriend. And he just dipped. He dipped. He went with Loras, and he dipped after that, bro. He's tired of this nigga. He tried to help Ned, and Ned wanted to be stupid and say, I want to support Stannis. I swear, bro, the word Stannis Baratheon coming out of Ned's mouth in season 1 was a curse word to everybody around him. Nobody wanted to hear that nigga's name. And the next nigga he had to talk to was my boy, Pimp Hand Lord Baelish. He went to Lord Baelish and he said, you know, them kids ain't Roberts. And then Lord Baelish is like, so what the fuck do you want to do? So he's like, we need to give the kingdom to Lord Stannis. The look on Peter Baelish's face was the look of a man that just heard all of the money is in his account go to zero. It was the look of a man that just knew that if I allow this nigga to proceed any fucking further, I'm going to die. Stannis Baratheon burns people alive and he doesn't like brothels. I am the P. Diddy of Westeros. I have Westerosi freak-off houses. I sell pussy for a living. If that nigga comes to Westeros, I'm dead. That was Littlefinger's thought process, but what he said was, so it was seen. Unless, and that's not like, yo, there is no unless. Stannis is the rightful heir. Yeah, he can't get that unless we give it to him, which it would be wise for us to deny it to him. And then Stark was like, nah, bro, you would commit treason. And Littlefinger was like, nigga, I'm trying to keep my head, bro. I sell pussy for a living. He don't like that. I'm gonna die if he comes through, bro. I don't want to end up like Diddy in the real world, bro. I can only do this Diddy shit in Westeros, man. I'm tired, bro. And bro, and Ned Stark wasn't trying to hear nothing. Like, Stannis is the real king. Y'all go just work with Renly or the Lannisters. Well, fuck it. Work with me. We can just put the Lannisters on the throne and then just make that secret. Bro, no, then we can just maneuver from there. And then Ned's like, you are a treacherous, evil serpent of a snake. I would never move like that. But I still need your help. I still need your help to defend the city and the city guard. So can you please help me and say, give me your men that serve you out of your pocket? And Littlefinger was like, this stupid ass nigga. Sure. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my bro. I told you in the garden. Oh, this nigga didn't learn, bro. This nigga think I'm pussy. Oh, I'm gonna show him who's pussy. Hold on. Nah, this nigga got me fucked up. This nigga said Stannis Baratheon 5 times in my presence, bro. Nah, bro. He said Stannis Baratheon 5 times. That's like calling me a nigga with the hard AR. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna make you suffer, and after this, I'm gonna make your family suffer, and I'm gonna either fuck your wife or your daughter. I don't care. I'm going to make them all fucking suffer, and I'm gonna get everything that I've ever fucking wanted, one way or a fucking other. And bro, nah, son. Then after that, bro, my nigga, that Stark went. He that ass went to fucking King's Landing. He went to. They said Joffrey, the King Joffrey. He's sitting in the Iron Throne right now. Ned Stark was like, King Joffrey? The fuck you mean, King Joffrey? You meant to say Prince, right? No. That nigga's on the Iron Throne. As soon as Ned Stark went in that room, Joffrey was like, I want to be coronated within the hour. Ned Stark was like, your son has no claim to the throne. He gave Cersei and them a piece of paper, some embarrassed and was like, yo, these are the king's words. Yeah, that little nigga not supposed to be the king. Apparently, Cersei's like, yo, let me see that real quick. Was this supposed to be your shield, Lord Stark? A piece of paper? She shred that shit into cinders. We have a new king now, my son. Bend the knee and return to that wasteland you call home. Your son has no claim to the throne. You be out here fucking your brother. Liar! Kill him! Kill all of them, I command it! Bro. Shit was about to pop off. Ned Stark thought he had the support of the city guard, bro. My nigga. Bro. The minute niggas started yelling, bro, all Ned Stark watched his men get piled up like Legos. He watched the Hound and all of the city guard just eviscerate anybody wearing northern leather. And then Littlefinger crept from the shadows like sexy did to Madara, and he said, I did warn you not to trust me. Put the dagger to that nigga throat, and that cemented him as my favorite fucking character in Game of Thrones. Because I didn't know he was going to do some shit like that when he said, distrusting me was the wisest thing you've done since you climbed off your horse. I was like, nah, bro, this nigga wicked. This nigga is wicked. And he did nothing but wickedness the entire time, bro. I wanted, bro, on some real shit, I wanted this nigga to win so badly, bro. I was so tight when he died. When he got to his knees, he started being a little bit Sansa. I beg you, I loved your mother since the time I was a boy. Bro, all the joy in my mouth turned to ashes, bro. You wanna know how I wanted Littlefinger to go out, honestly? If he had to go out, if he had to be accused for his crimes and shit? Yes, I did it. I was the ones who did it, and you fools let me. You fools just sat there and allowed me to play puppeteer. And if you think you took my life right now, go ahead and try. I am not even here. As we speak, I am far away. This is just a vessel. A vestige, someone to take my place and image. There are more of us. We are everyone, and we are also no one. And then they slit his throat, and then the nigga comes and incinerates everything to the ground, assists the Iron Throne, and then the Night King comes and kills everybody. And then, as like the Night King comes and he's killing everybody, Littlefinger's on the Iron Throne, and the Night King and the zombie horde come in the room, and he's slowly approaching them, and Littlefinger just says, it was fun while it lasted. And then the Night King just stabbed that nigga. But Littlefinger's will is too great. He overtakes the Night King, and then he just becomes the new Night King, and he controls the fucking army of the dead. And now he just has undead Catelyn and undead Sansa next to him and shit. And he's just an undead. He's just doing everything he was going to do, but undead now. That would be fucking cool. But that didn't happen. He died like a fucking coward and a fucking bitch, like he's supposed to, because he's a craven and a bitch. He doesn't deserve anything. Honestly, if Littlefinger existed in real life, I'd hate him. But in the realms of fiction, I love him because he fucking puts these niggas to hell, bro. And he's did it because he's a creature of trauma. He's a creature of his own desires. He's a creature of lust. He's a creature of wrath. He's a creature of greed. He destroyed. In my universe, he's the opposite. He's still like that, but I'm trying to do a redemption arc because in Westeros, there has to be some of them that learned from their actions and some of them that didn't. And I feel like, even though Littlefinger probably would or wouldn't, I feel like Littlefinger's smart. If everything came up to him dying and never getting what he wanted, he'd probably be smart enough to probably play a different game. Same thing for Varys too. That's why I have them both in the flawless military. That's why I could have had like the data main, like the entire Westeros is kind of a part of it in a way, but mostly I just have him and Varys there because in my mind they were the puppeteers. They were the masterminds. Game of Thrones, in my mind, it wasn't about Daenerys. It wasn't about Jon. Hell, it wasn't even about the Lannisters. It was a chess match going on between two masterminds, between Littlefinger and Varys. That's how it was for me. But let me finish because I gotta wrap this video up because this shit about to be like hour long and shit. But so basically now they're stuck in prison. And Varys like, I told your ass that Littlefinger did it. And it's not like, no, you didn't say that. You said that and someone started asking questions. And I alluded to the fact that Littlefinger did it. You were just too stupid to recognize. And then Varys was like, oh my god, what the fuck do you want, dickless? And Varys was like, yo, I just want peace. I just want peace. I just want niggas not to die. And your daughter, she sung for you, Lord Stark. She sung for you. Can you just say that Joffrey is the true king? What game are you playing, Spider? Nigga, I want you to live! What the fuck wrong with you? That's the first and only time I've ever seen Varys crash out was in that one time. When he was like, I want you to serve the realm. I was like, nah, bro. My boy Varys, he was trying to tell that nigga what he wanted, bro. And truth be told, if Ned Stark would have aligned himself with Varys when he came to King's Landing instead of Littlefinger, he would have lived a lot longer and things would have been way different. The only reason he didn't trust Varys was because every single time Littlefinger had the opportunity, he was like, oh, fuck that nigga Varys. That nigga ain't got no dick. Who knows what that one is thinking? Like, every single time. And then after that, bro, they put him on the chopping block. It was about to kill that nigga. But Joffrey said this. My mother wanted me to send Leonard Stark to the Night's Watch, and my beloved Sansa has wished for mercy for her father. But they have the weak hearts of women. So long as I am your king, treason shall never go unpunished. Sir Ilyn, bring me his head, And bro, I swear, everybody broke out in a panic. Cersei tried to stop them. Pycelle tried to stop them. Varys tried to stop them. Arya was moving. Sansa was moving. The only nigga that was standing completely in place like a statue with a smirk on his face was my nigga Littlefinger Peter Baelish. That niggas was like, yes, good, everything is going according to plan. Now, Ned Stark is out of the way. All I need to do is maneuver them, and soon the Iron Throne will be mine. They cut his head off, his shit dropped, bro. That shit dropped to the fucking floor, bro. And I was surprised when that first happened. I was actually shocked. I look back at it and I chuckled because I'm a fan of the villains. But like when I originally watched it, I was like, damn, they killed the main character. That's crazy. And then war happened. And damn, I guess this is my cover of season 1. This is my review of Game of Thrones season 1. So yeah, I'm going to cut it short right now. I'm going to probably make a review of season 2. I'm going to review all of the Game of Thrones seasons. So thank you for viewing, and if you enjoyed my content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day.